Boom.
Boom, 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 boom,
Oh.
boom, 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 boom.
Did someone say TV series? What?
TV series? What? I don't know what I'm doing. I still don't know what we're doing in these intros.
I don't know, mate. We should really iron that part of the formula. Would be amazing.
We've got everything else down, apart from really solidifying what that intro is going to, be.
Yeah. Apart from the thing that's going to gravitate the most amount of people into the club.
Yeah, absolutely.
But hey, there we go.
It's fine.
Anyway,
hello.
How are you? How are you, my darling Matt?
Oh, my sweetheart, my love, Forrest. I'm good, my friend. I am good. It's a Sunday. We're recording now, actually earlier on a Sunday, so I'm feeling a little bit more sprightly.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Yeah, this is our prime time. We're nearly at noon on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Which I am feeling. Yeah, I'm feeling sprightly, ready to go.
Yep.
Seeing your face, it's beautiful.
It's beautiful. Your face is beautiful. Just so you know, I've got I'm parenting at the same time as we're podding, so it's just me and my little one with us. So if there's ever a moment that I need to talk to somebody smaller than me, I'll probably put myself on mute for us. Is that okay, buddy?
That's absolutely fine, Matt, mate.
All right, cool.
And if we do hear any background noise, that's not me deciding to turn into a 5-year-old child for the sake of it. That's there.
We might have a younger, like our youngest guest come in and pipe in about Wandavision. You never know.
Oh, I mean, that would be incredible.
Yeah,
that'd be incredible. So Wandavision it is.
Here we are.
And phase 4.
Phase 4.
This is our first step, a little drop into the ocean, which is a wide, vast ocean, which is phase 4.
It's huge. There's so much to go through. I know this was one particular show out of all of them that I was really excited to go through. So when we actually started going through the episodes, I just had to keep going. So we were going to do, I think, weren't we going to do like episode 1 to 3?
I think we 1 to 5, right? 1 to 5, followed by 6 to 9, I believe.
Oh, there you go. There you go. That's good.
Go.
But I just wanted to keep going. I wanted to keep watching.
Yeah, it is. Yes, absolutely can agree. But of course, we can't delve in, Matt, before our dear listeners have heard the wonderful theme of the Don't Be a Hero podcast.
That's right, because we've already named what we're going to be talking about, which is what we usually do.
And we talk straight after it, so I can't exactly edit it. So here's a little behind the scenes. So I'm going to say what it is. We've all heard what it is.
Yeah.
But then I can edit it nicely, and then it's polished.
Great.
So this week, we're looking at Wandavision.
Wandavision. Wow. Oh, shit.
There we are.
I love it. What a brilliant beginning. What a reason, dear listener, to stay and listen to our podcast. The most, it's like fumbling down a hill, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like you start rolling, you're like, okay, I'm walking, I'm good, and you kind of end up running, and you go a little bit too fast, and the next thing you know, you're literally just doing tumbles down. Oh. That's how the beginning of this podcast has went.
Yeah. If phase 4 is as good as this, there might not be a phase 5 of Don't Be a Hero podcast, because just the sheer quality by the last episode of the phase would be an abomination. He rocks up. Oh, you see that segue? Not very good. Not related to what we're talking about. But yeah. So, WandaVision. I'm absolutely in agreement in regards to what you said about, you're watching the episodes and you don't want to finish watching the episode. You want to binge. And this is the first time we've had this TV series format. Episodes differ in length. So when we first said about Wandavision, I was a bit like, oh God, like they're, in my head I thought, they're 50 to an hour length episodes. So, this is gonna be a long amount of TV. No, because there are, literally, if you take into consideration the credits and the what happened last week in WandaVision, episodes can be anything from about 20 minutes to 40 minutes, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So, not too bad at all.
Yeah, it's really good in terms of like bite-sized chunks, isn't it? I think the way it's paced as a whole is really, really great. But I've been really excited by rewatching it because there's been so many little Easter eggs that I have found, little details that I didn't notice from the first time. So I cannot wait to talk about it. But first, what we need to do is the summary. So tell me, what is the summary?
But this is what's unique because we've started a TV series.
Yeah,
I have Rotten Tomatoed the holy hell out of this.
Yeah.
There is no overall summary. There's only a summary per episode, man. So, and I know our listeners, our dear listeners, love the summary. It's one of the highlights of the weekly episode. But I'm not sure they want to hear me read 9 summaries.
No, that's true. Isn't there like another source that we can go to? Another source? Another saucy sauce?
Oh, a little sauce. What does my good friend Wandavision, IMDb, say about Wandavision? Here we go.
Let's IMDb it then. Let's change it up. From now on, we're going to go and do some summaries on IMDb, see what they're talking about.
Oh, yeah. Should we see the standard at IMDb?
That's a really good shout.
Is the Internet Movie Database. Just want to say. So, here we go. I've just had a quick glimpse, Matt. After just merely a glimpse, we might regret what we've just said we're going to do.
Okay.
Put your seatbelt on and get ready. Strap in. Here we go. Strap in for the summary. That's what we like to say.
Let's go.
Blends the style of classic sitcoms with the MCU, in which Wanda Maximoff and Vision, 2 superpowered beings living their ideal suburban lives, begin to suspect that everything is not as it seems.
What's wrong with that?
It's better than our first story. I read the first line. And
the first line's a bit clunky. Yeah.
A bit ropey. But then, it's fine. It says what it is. It says what it does.
Do you know what? IMDb, that was pretty solid. I mean, apart from that first line, you're right. Those first few words were a bit, I was like, I literally thought that was it.
Yeah. So when I first heard it, so did I. But no, actually, it redeems itself, buddy.
It does redeem itself, indeed.
So here we are.
1 to 5. I think what we're going to do. I mean, I can appreciate two listeners like these guys don't know what the fuck they're doing today, do they? Well, this is it. This is the first kind of TV series that we're doing in the MCU. Everything before now has been movies, so it's been quite easy for us to talk about in its entirety. But I think we're going to do episode 1 to 5. We won't go, okay, this is what's happened in episode 1. This is what happened in episode 2. We're going to talk about episode 1 to 5 as a general chunk, kind of like a 2-hour watch. All right. And that's how we'll do it.
As a chunky monkey.
As the chunky monkey.
And if you think this is bad, go and have a listen to the very first Iron Man episode, because there's parts of that are pure dog shite. So, appreciate what you get given at this point.
What I love about that episode is that we go, we are, with such confidence, we are the guardians of the multiverse. And then we're like, a week later, we realise that there's an actual comic called that.
Yeah. Just so you know how knowledgeable we are in this field, we completely miss the fact that there are comic book characters called the Guardians of the Multiverse. But there you go. Here we are now, WandaVision. So, thoughts are. Let's talk about style first. So obviously this is very specifically aspect ratios trim right down to suit the 50s, 60s, 70s and 80s that we traverse through a sitcom guise.
Yep.
I absolutely love it. I think it's
Clever.
wildly creative and clever. There are when we get to the episode 3 in the 70s, I get quite happy about the introduction of color. By that point, I think the kind of black and white nature of it starts to dwindle on me a little bit. And I also like the fact that we do have this kind of the real world outside of this fictional fictional place of Westfield. I think if we didn't have that and we didn't have any colour, I think that the black and white sitcom vibe would start to drain on me.
Drain on you.
Where on me? Where
It drains me.
Where
I go
drains me?
monochrome.
Oh yeah, see what I did? I did it on purpose. That's why. Yeah.
Good bit of business there, Forrest.
Lovely bit of business. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I love it. It's really great. I think in terms of Disney TV series, Marvel, they started very strong with WandaVision, and to the detriment, I think, of what's going to come next and with latter ones. But I think it's so intertwined with the events of what's happened after Endgame. Wanda is in such a state of turmoil. I can understand every choice that she has made in order of effectively taking a whole town hostage to put under a curse, under a spell, just so she can live a life where she feels happy, because she has lost everything even a few times. It's not like once. She's lost everything a couple of times. Right. So it's, you can understand why she's doing what she's doing, but the color palette, the way that they format the sitcoms, and they kind of take a not only hints and nostalgia in terms of MCU, in terms of what's going in terms of the past threads and past narratives, but a callback to kind of I think the first episode, that's all kind of intertwined around the Dick Van Dyke Show. In terms of the opening credits, they use those forms as a way to sort of emulate old sitcom shows. It's just brilliant. And I think in terms of visually how it's kind of portrayed, not really talking about narrative just yet, but in terms of visual kind of aesthetic, they hit the nail on the head. Really strong, really strong.
I think one of my favourite tiny things they do is the please stand by at the end of every episode, and the way we first see what will what turns out to be Darcy watching, setting it up, and she's watching what's going on in Westfield, right? And I really like when we kind of come out from it the very first time. We come out of that sitcom, come out of the TV, and we see, okay, this isn't real in nature. Not that we ever thought it would be, I suppose.
No, I suppose. But it's did you, with those end credits, did you end up find yourself actually staying to the very, very end, just in case there is some sort of mid-credit, end credit scene?
Every single episode, because I'm sure when I first watched this, I think there is one later on.
I think
right?
so. I'm so, mate.
Fairly sure we do have one.
So we're doing episodes 1 to 5, so it might be from 5 to 6 to 9. There might be one there.
Yeah.
I've deliberately been skipping forward just to see if there is one, just in case we can talk about it. But
yeah. No,
isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing what Marvel MCU Cinematic Universe has done to their audience? They've made them wait past the credits, just in case they miss anything.
You don't do that for anything else. Any other film or TV show that incorporated an end credit scene, you'd be fucking well angry about, because you'd be like, I didn't. Why would I watch that? Why would I watch that? But Marvel, they've got your balls. They've got your balls in a grip, and they're
K-Dog's I've got your balls. I'm gonna twist them sometimes, and I'm gonna drag them down, and then hike them back up.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't watch the credits for this film, where you've missed the entire next phase. Fuck you very much.
But I think in terms of the first episode, I think it indicates very, very quickly how it's going to be toned in terms of the script, the delivery, the way that they play out the sitcom is very. It's straight. They do it as it is a 50s, 1950s sitcom. The way that they act, the way that they perform their lines, and then you just get these hints of it coming out of that format, whether that might be a slight line really subtly played. I think when we introduce Agatha in the first episode, she comes in with certain lines about her husband that kind of play into kind of like the first thing that Agatha says to Wanda, she says, "Oh, my name's Agatha, my name's Wanda," and she goes, "Charmed." Which is brilliant because it's a clear, she is either in there, within the the subcontext, is actually saying we're under a spell, charmed. Yes. Like I was like stuff like that, and then you obviously get the formats being played out as well in terms of the shots, in terms of the way that they kind of have those shots being taken out. So, for instance, when they're inviting the Hart family, I can't remember the name now, but when they're sitting down for dinner. And Vision's boss is choking on some food, it immediately snaps out of that sitcom environment into something almost more horror kind of esque in terms of the way that they're shooting. And it's moments like that, it just makes you watch it intently, doesn't it? Because you're waiting for it.
And those moments are done at a very apart from, I think, episode 3, perhaps, or episode 2. Yeah, episode 2. On the whole, they do a really good job of having those moments, right, that take you out of, okay, we're not just in a sitcom about Vision or Wanda, and they do a really good job. The only part was episode 2, and I think episode 2 is the one with the magic, where they do a magic tricks. They do performance, don't they? And it was just a little bit, for me, what felt a little bit too long without any incident or any kind of.
I'm with you on that.
It felt a little bit too much that they'd leaned into. Oh well, our audience will be alright to watch 15 minutes of this, and I was a bit like, yeah, not really.
I mean, you had. I think the only kind of like hints in terms of coming out the format was when Wanda was talking to the blonde lady, name escapes me, but like then they have the radio being played.
Yeah.
And then they come out of that quite quickly, and then again at the end when they're doing their routine, where Vision's just showing his actual kind of, powers, and Wanda's trying to cover that. But that's within the context of the sitcom, isn't it?
Yeah,
do you know
exactly.
What I mean?
Even that bit is still within it. So there are 3 moments there are 4 moments. So we get the red helicopter. We get a helicopter in that episode. We get the radio. We also get the blood in red. So one of them starts bleeding, and that's in red. Then we get the beekeeper as well.
That's right. So you get these kind of. It's really subtle though as well. And I think apparently with the red helicopter just prior to it, where Wanda's kind of fluffing some pillows, so you can hear like the propellers of a helicopter, and then a bang.
Oh, nice.
So, and I think it's not really explained, but what it might be is one of the helicopters in a previous shot from the first episode, I think, or even the trailer. I can't remember, but there is a helicopter shot outside the sphere that might have got a bit too close.
Oh.
And it transformed into that toy helicopter.
Okay. No, the helicopter. No, we find out.
Oh, no, it wasn't.
No, the helicopter is an actual thing that.
Of course.
Well, it's Geraldine's not a real name, is it?
It was a drone, wasn't
Monica.
It was a drone.
Monica puts in, right? Monica puts in a drone. Yes.
Yeah.
So, and then we get further context actually. So after that noise, she then goes out, because we see the actual footage after that, don't we?
Yeah.
We see her go out and then she gets it. But I think episode 2 was the only moment, but everywhere else I felt was really well paced in terms of we'll have about 4 minutes of sitcom and then something to pull us out of it and pull us out of that world, which I thought was great.
I've got to give a shout out as well. In the first episode, we have what's her name, Deborah Jo Rupp, who plays Kitty in That 70s Show, who plays Sharon Davis in this. She's like a well-renowned sitcom actress, from being in That 70s Show. Did you watch That 70s Show?
I didn't watch
growing
that
up?
70s show.
So I mean, that was something that was my friends effectively, alongside like Scrubs and all that kind of stuff. And seeing her come back into a sitcom kind of esque format works so perfectly, and it's again nostalgic for the audience that are watching as well. And I also wonder whether that kind of kickstarted potentially that 90s show coming out on Netflix as well recently. I don't know whether that kind of gave the audience pause for her to come back. Don't know. But yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, and so it was quite funny actually because I mentioned Soph quite a few times on this podcast, and the fact that she has she doesn't watch MCU films, doesn't understand them, anything. Soph was with me as I watched episode 5, which is set in the 80s, and even she had to turn around and tell me that it was 2.5. Is it 2.5 Men?
Oh yeah.
Apparently she said that I don't think the content of the episode is anything like that, but I think the house that it's set in is the same set as 2.5 Men. I believe.
We had quite a lot of reoccurring characters from the MCU in terms of established in the movies.
Yep.
We had Kat Dennings back.
Yay!
Which is great.
So good to have Darcy in this.
I think having Darcy in this series elevates the show in terms of having a comedic yet incredibly intelligent and useful resource. Do you know what I mean? On the show in terms of helping with the story and the narrative. But yeah, really cool to see her come back. And I think again, because she was such a hit in Thor movies and she wasn't even obviously remotely in Ragnarok, that kind of payoff and the calls for her to come back were totally sweet. Now we also had your favourite, Jimmy Woo.
I know, and Jimmy, I was gonna, exactly. And with Jimmy Woo though, much better in this. Not a caricature character. They've completely changed his character. He's absolutely not a bumbling weird comedic and that's exactly the part I wanted him to be. If Jimmy Woo from this could have been the same Jimmy Woo in Ant-Man and the Wasp, I think I'd have gotten like a house on fire with it.
He did his card trick though. Did you see him when he spoke to Monica?
No.
He did his card trick that thingy. Oh God, names. Paul Rudd, but not Paul Rudd. His name Scott Lang.
Yeah,
showed him. But yeah, so so I think it's toned really well with Jimmy Woo. I think you kind of get a sense there's a more serious side to him where he's actually good at his job and not just a bumbling idiot, which he kind of comes across in Ant-Man like completely inept and useless.
Sorry, Matt. I'm just going to stop you just for 2 seconds.
Are you going to fart? What are you going to do?
I've got to check that the door is closed. Hang on, 2 seconds. I'll explain in a moment.
Oh, Peggy, the cat. Oh no, the cat's got to stay indoors. I think because Forrest's cat is, I think, still a couple of weeks into the house, and they have to get used to the house. So they have to stay in. But I'm hoping that's. Are you good? You good? Is your cat okay?
The cat's fine.
Right.
That is exactly so. Sophie's currently out in the gym. She's going to come back imminently. And I was slightly panicked that I left the living room because, just to explain, we got a cat. She's
I've done that bit. I've done that bit.
That bit. Nice. Cheers, mate. So she's not leaving the house yet. So we have to be really careful when we're opening front doors. So I panicked that I left the living room door open.
Honestly, I thought you were just standing up to do a massive fart because you hunched over the mic.
I mean, that would be wildly inappropriate if I stopped. If I stopped you, mid flow, just to go.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past you.
Let me make a statement. So there you go. Yeah. So Jimmy Woo.
Jimmy Woo.
Oh yes, I did mention one specific thing in episode 5. So Captain Jimmy Woo says that Captain Captain Marvel or America?
Marvel. Is that the bit where they're in the tent?
Yeah, he's talking about Thanos.
Yes.
And he says Captain Marvel came close to wiping out Thanos.
Yes, and then you see a lovely, subtle reaction from Monica Rambeau, and she then goes on, "We're not talking about her."
Yeah.
There is, and I'm looking forward to seeing this be played out in The Marvels movie, where we see Monica Rambeau and Captain Marvel kind of hash it out, because there's some animosity there. I think in terms of the way that Captain Marvel had her, friendship with the other Rambo. God, Jesus Christ! I need to sort my brain out. It's Sunday. There's something about Sundays.
I mean, there is a lot of names.
Doesn't work.
There is a lot of names.
Oh my God!
The other Rambo. Monica. So no, that's Monica Rambeau.
Monica is the one. Maria Rambeau.
Maria. Right. So I think you can explain what I got really confused about then.
Yeah.
Because have we had any? So in Captain Marvel, did we have any? Yes, Maria Rambeau featured in Captain Marvel.
Yeah. So she's mum to Monica, and Monica's in Captain Marvel as a young kid. But we need to talk about Monica Rambeau in this. I think she does a brilliant job. I think in terms of the character, it's fantastic. I think in terms of the growth of the character, the development of kind of her origin. I get, it's quite clear that WandaVision's used obviously for the development of Wanda's character into Scarlet Witch, but obviously the introduction of an origin story for Monica Rambeau as well. And I think in terms of using the subcontext to kind of like, there's something been going on between Captain Marvel and my mum, Maria, and nothing really got resolved there. So that's kind of a little kind of thing that's eating at her. She's got a chip in her shoulder, which I kind of love.
Yes. Yeah. She was absolutely amazing. I think that's what I will say about this. Certainly these 5 episodes so far is that the acting is amazing. We get some proper good acting chomps in it. Some really good cast. Really good characters in all of it. So Darcy, going back to Darcy is part of what I think is brand new, which is Sword. So we've got Shield, and now we're being introduced to Sword.
Now I've got a feeling Sword was around when Shield was around. The Sword, as far as I'm aware, and again, fact check me on this, please, Ed, Nathan, dear listener, whoever you are, but it was founded by Maria Rambeau herself. And it is an affiliated kind of version of Shield to the government. So the government and the Air Force have created Sword, but it's kind of what they wanted out of Shield. Shield was its own thing, doing its own space thing, but Sword is a very more kind of like government heavy, like FBI kind of thing.
Shall I refer to my 500 fact book just to have a look, Matthew, in case Sword is mentioned in here?
I think you absolutely should.
Well, shit on me sideways. They haven't got. I have not seen a Sword. Oh, by the way, I just want to put out there, because I know some listeners will be thinking this. I am aware I'm swearing, and there is a child in the background, but just to reassure you, Matt is wearing headphones, so none of this can be heard. I would not be swearing otherwise.
I'll just play it to them later. Sorry.
I'm not insensitive. Yeah, exactly. Play it in the car. That'd be fine. I'll tell you what, mate. There is an abundance of facts, which would have been really good if I'd have read ahead of actually recording the podcast. I could have. I can't.
It wouldn't surprise me if there is, because there are so many little like hints and stuff in there. Rachel watched this with me, who was a wonderful guest on last week's episode. But she mentioned and saw the first episode where Wanda was frantically making the dinner for dinner guests, opens up the kind of pantry doors, and you can see that she's kind of got all these pots and pans and stuff, which kind of replicates and kind of foreshadows as well how it's going to end with Wanda as well, when she has the book, the I was going to say the Book of Ashanti. It's not that, is it? It's her, or is it? I don't know. See, when she's working on the hexes and stuff, when you can see how she's working around with all these different kind of timelines and stuff. It's just a little imagery thing that she noticed, which I think kind of foreshadows what's going to happen and how she's going to end the series.
Oh, very nice, very nice. In here, Agent Jimmy Woo produces his identification with a flick of the wrist. As if by magic, this is a reference to Ant-Man and the Wasp. There you go. He's instantly fascinated by Scott Lang's mastery of close-up magic.
There you go.
Cinematographer Jess Hall used 47 different camera lenses for the 7 time periods covered in WandaVision.
Okay, that is ridiculous. That is amazing. That is amazing.
47 different camera lenses.
Shout out to you, Jess.
Wow.
Absolute hero.
Many of which were modern lenses, custom modified to keep characteristics of the actual period lenses. Lighting was adjusted to align with the periods being portrayed.
Brilliant.
That is...
You've got to appreciate that. In terms of cinematography, in terms of those kind of details, that is what makes... that is the difference between just, a TV show against something that's been very carefully, meticulously put together, shot by shot.
Yeah. And one that I didn't know, and now I'm gonna actively take a note of as we progress through the series. Wanda's voice when she says previously on WandaVision. At the beginning of each episode, when she says it, she gets progressively less cheerful each time throughout the series. Yeah. But you see? You didn't know that, little. Thank you, Factbook. And lastly, the only one I will specifically mention, unless we, talk roughly about one, in which case I'll bring it back in, is that only 3 episodes have post-credit scenes. The 7th and 8th got 1 post-credit scene, and the final episode got 2.
Great. Okay, well, that's good to know, isn't it, dear listener, as well? If you're watching along with us, there we go. 7, 8, and 9. We do have some
Save yourself some scrolling through the credits. There you go.
That's fair. I'm genuinely quite thankful for that.
You see, my little box of tricks.
I was going to say, you haven't used up all of those little facts, have you? Because we've still got another episode to do on this.
There's an abundance. There's like 3 pages worth of facts about WandaVision. So.
Going back to sort of Monica and kind of her kind of going back into, we kind of get this kind of time thing happen where we see Monica introduced as this kind of character in the bubble, and then we see how she kind of gets eliminated out of it, and then she kind of decides to go back in, and they kind of take her clothes, they kind of identify what's going on, they try and figure it out, okay, what the hex is about, but what I sort of really, really enjoy is seeing this kind of, because she ends up becoming what superhero is it? Photon. There you go.
Photon. Ooh.
Yeah, Photon.
See, we can get away with not knowing this because this is stuff that will come about. None of this has come about yet.
This is the thing, right? A MCU now in Phase 4 for the first time, really. You've got A grade, B grade, and C grade superheroes, right? And then even below that,
Eternals.
That is a good bit of business. I love that.
Oh, boom.
Boom. Booyah. Take it. Take that, Eternals. Oosh. Sorry.
Carry on, Matt.
Sorry. So Photon, you could say, gosh, that that superhero is probably only just in the B grade, maybe just top C grade. So they're Phase 4. They're now introducing all of these other characters, other superheroes that are lesser known to Marvel fans, casual Marvel fans, moviegoers like us, to then have to learn about, right? So, but this I think going back to the fact that she's doing this origin story, I think we're still yet to see how she gets her powers, but it does happen in this series, and it's I think it's kind of finding the right opponent for Wanda, and obviously this isn't the right opponent for Wanda. We get that kind of later on in Multiverse of Madness, but a good kind of starting point for Monica Rambeau.
Absolutely. So what are you paused quite quickly there, Matt? You're
I
right.
did because I immediately went to my notes and went, I've lost my train of thought, so I need to fucking finish that very quickly. That was literally my internal monologue. I was like, stop talking about this. You've gone nowhere. Move on.
And so I think it will be good. Let's talk about Vision. Let's talk about Wanda.
Oh, we haven't done that yet. Yeah.
Let's talk about the main two. I so far with the 5 episodes we've got, I think we've got what this basically showcases is just how incredible Elizabeth Olsen is as Wanda, and I've said that I will take something away in a moment, but and you'll know what it is when we get there. But the Wanda is, I think it's fantastic. We see that really cheerful, happy nature. First episode, everything. We completely forgot about the last phase. What's going on? Why have we got a happy Wanda? And then we're starting to break down the reality of that, right?
Yeah.
And all of this is kind of what she's created, and I love that everything within the kind of world of Westfield is positive to a degree. We have little moments where we start to see reality, but then as soon as she comes out of Westfield, Elizabeth's using acting chomps to showcase Wanda in a completely different fashion. Right, so we see her when she comes out, and she basically goes, stop doing what you're doing to Sword. Otherwise, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. And we also we get shown footage of before Westfield where she takes Vision's body, right, and it all like you say, it all becomes. There seems to be a really dark part to this series, which is juxtaposes the cheerful sitcom nature so well. That she took his corpse. She went in, took a corpse, made it, come back to life against anyone's wishes. I think she's incredible. Just quickly before I get your thoughts, just the only negative I'll have is the accent.
It comes back, doesn't it?
Oh, she comes out of Westfield, has a really atrocious accent where you're like, I still don't know what accent you're trying to portray here, Elizabeth. I would much prefer Wanda to just have her American accent.
I noticed that immediately when she came out of Westfield. I was going to say Westview, and she drops back into her Sokovian accent. Now, Sokovia, not a real place, so this accent has been. It's a mixture of all kinds of things, but I think underneath it, I've got used to it. I think I've got used to it now. Again, it kind of brings out talking about the sinister kind of side to her. I think with that accent, it brings out. I don't know. It's just a little bit more accessible to bring in that kind of seriousness through that dialect, maybe.
I can appreciate. I think I would have preferred it. Had they have actually placed it in a country we all know of and had an actual accent, because let's be honest, they do it with Natalia Romanoff, don't they? They do it with Black Widow.
They do. That's true. That's true actually.
So why do it differently for Wanda if people within the MCU have already got an accent placed very much in a specific country?
Would you say, as a question, we'll talk about Paul Bettany in a minute, but like in terms of Wanda, would you say that this series is Wanda's villain origin story, or is it actually Multiverse of Madness?
Ooh.
Because that's effectively what's happening here. The choices that she's making in WandaVision are very morally askewed.
Yeah.
Like you say, she brought a dead corpse back to life against everyone's wishes. There was no need to do that, right? And even she says to her kids when, I think it was this 4th episode where she goes, you okay? My little one has just fallen off the chair. You good? Yeah, she's all right. She's nodding. She's fine. It's where she goes to the kid. She goes, even at times, when the rabbit dies, or the dog. It was the dog. It wasn't the rabbit. It was a dog. Completely different things. Well, you have to let go of something eventually.
Yeah.
Something along the lines of that line. And she's not doing it.
That moment is perfect as well. Cause
Yeah.
I think she plays it just right, where you can see that in her face, where she's portraying a blatant lie to her children, whilst disguising the fact that she's absolutely done that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
So yeah, I suppose my answer to your question would be, well, it has to be, for me, it has to be that this is the beginning of her villain
Villain story,
right? Because the whole, and maybe because this is the bridge between where we've seen her before she's that, to full villain in Multiverse of Madness. So for me, this is the bridge period where we're seeing, sometimes you go from the opposite and you get a villain that then turns into a kind of a hero in a way.
It's such a good role to play because there's so many layers in this, in terms of she was an Avenger. She's now morally askewed. She's lost everything. She's bitter. She's angry at the world. Why is everybody moving on? I can't move on. And it's just, for an actor, it must be so, for Elizabeth Olsen, it must be amazing to play a role like that. She absolutely knocks it out of the park, I think, in terms of developing her character. But one which it's kind of bittersweet with Paul Bettany, because I think he develops Vision brilliantly in this series, but ultimately, he's dead. The character's dead. So where does it go from here?
Yes, absolutely. I think one of my main gripes with the series up to this point would be is Vision, and that's not the acting of Vision, and that's not how Vision's portrayed. I think Paul Bettany is amazing, and that's a great character. But I think for me, I struggle to work out why to accept that Vision is suddenly having these visions. As to why everything might not be as it seems.
Yeah.
Right. It seems to come out of an almost nowhere. Yeah, I get it. So we get a moment, for instance. I think it's episode. It must be when they have the twins, so it must be episode 5. It's got to be the 80s, and we get a moment where Agnes comes in, and she says something, and then Vision goes, "No, you can't, I think it's you can't hold the twins or whatever." And then she goes to Wanda, should I go back and redo that bit?
Yeah, it's so good.
And that's also really cool part to it. But earlier on, so up to that point, I can totally get on board as to why Vision would be like, what's happening here, because it's all getting Truman Show like, right? However, before that, he starts getting these starts to understand that things aren't quite right much earlier on in the series, and a bit too early for me. Like I can't really see why he would suddenly be, starting to spot stuff. But then again, we don't know as a viewer how long this has been going on either. So
yeah,
I don't know.
I struggle with that too, because I think ultimately he's right. Okay, so he's Vision, right? Vision should be able to notice these things immediately, right? but he's under a spell. Okay,
Yeah.
he's also dead. So really, the
That's
thoughts,
not helped. Yeah.
the thoughts that he is having must be channeled or controlled by Wanda. And then she just drop. I think she's kind of like, maybe she's dropping the ball every now and then, and then Vision, being the machine that he is consciously kind of finding kind of the moments of going, oh, actually, there's something off here. I'm sensing something's off here, even when he's under a spell. So it kind of like displays again how strong Vision is, you know. But yeah, I think the way they pace the kind of his kind of questioning is quite nice, I think. And I think we'll, especially when we get into episode 6 through to 9, we'll see the ending of that.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. I am trying to find the name of the typical. It's the only character that I can't find on any of these. Oh no, is it? I don't think it is. What's the guy? Is it Dennis? Who? Oh no, it's Norm. That's
Norm,
it.
yeah.
Norm, who works with Vision, doesn't he? So Norm works in this kind of office that Vision works in, and I think one of my favourite moments is when Sword send over an email, don't they? They send an email and they're like, it's got whatever contents it's got in it, and Vision opens that email. And we see Norm. He then puts his hand on Norm, and we see Norm's like inner conscience comes out.
Yes,
and it's like,
yes.
save me, I'm trapped. I think that whole scene is amazing. And then the scene that comes out of that when Vision goes back home and he says to Wanda, like, you know, he begins to start questioning it. And
I'm really looking forward to the episode where they do the circus fair. I think that comes out in a couple episodes, and he really starts interrogating what's going on. He goes beyond kind of the spectrum as well, and the kind of sphere that Wanda's created extends as well and goes further. And just the stakes are getting higher, episode per episode. This is what I've been finding as well. From episode 1 to 5, the stakes are getting higher as well, which is great storytelling.
Yeah. Absolutely. Hello, Thea. Yeah, we've had a little one join us. Hello. What are your thoughts on episode 1 to 5 of WandaVision?
What are your thoughts on WandaVision? What do you want to say? I think she just wants to listen. She's just like a dear listener. She's just a silent listener.
Just a silent listener. There you go. Look at that. Paced incredibly well, and I think going back to the length of the episodes, I think they've done a great job of not making these episodes too long. Could have quite easily made it long. I think it'd be interesting for me to watch the next few episodes, watch the rest of it, because I do think I think I could make the argument where actually these 5 episodes could have been 3 episodes.
Yeah.
I think you know, once you've got the idea that it's a sitcom, you get it quite quickly. You don't there's lots of conversations. There's a whole little chat before they do the magic trick scene, and even that magic scene goes on for a little bit longer than I'd have made it. There's a lot of dialogue between the neighbours that I think is a little bit, you know, it's all very frivolous. I get it. I can understand and appreciate it.
I think, but do you think that's because you as an audience member are going, okay, cool, but where's the subtext?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. You're constantly looking for that moment of reality coming through, so you're not really paying much attention to what the sitcom plotline is.
No, but also, why would I, and why would anyone who watches it though? Like, if this was a series that had characters we'd not yet met, then I could find a reason as to why you would provide me so much of the sitcom, and you know, you need to have a watch of this, and then bang, here's a surprise. Essentially, none of this was ever. Most of it, there are twists and turns that you absolutely don't know are coming, but on the most part, on the most basic element that this world is fictional and lives, and outside of it is the real world and Wanda's created it, that I would argue that is all pretty, you know, we knew that going into episode 1. We know Vision's dead. We certainly know by the time she's got twins that that's not, you know, so a lot of those things were already givens. So maybe the argument is different, but I can't see a person who's not watched MCU films or doesn't know Wanda or doesn't know what's happened already is suddenly going to jump into WandaVision as their first thing they ever watch.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I think I can understand that argument, but for me, it would have only applied if these were brand new characters we knew nothing about.
Yeah, I like that. That was a good take, mate. Well done.
Oh, thanks, mate. That's
good.
Is that real footage, sir?
I feel like it might be.
Sir, have I made it onto the reel, sir? Could I possibly?
But can we talk about the ending bit? I think we're kind of wrapping up. So I feel like we need to end on how it ends in the end of episode 5, which is the reveal of Pietro. So we kind of get hints of Pietro that's, kind of, I lost my brother once, I was a twin, when she talks to Monica, that kind of subsequently she kind of presses on that as well. And that kind of subsequently, it expels Monica Rambeau from the curse. So we get this kind of hint coming through. Now, I do remember watching it the first time, and there's these kind of theories that Aaron Johnson's coming back, he's going to be reprising his role as Quicksilver, but then all of a sudden, just like out of nowhere, okay, we have this kind of thoughts of Evan Peters's as Quicksilver coming into the MCU, which is a Marvel, character, but it's told from the X-Men movies, which is Sony, isn't it? Is it Sony? It's Sony, isn't it?
At this point, yeah. It's Sony.
At this point. And there was no agreements made. There was nothing. And it was all hush, hush, hush up until this moment where we have Evan Peters, of who we thought at the moment, we'll find it will be revealed later, but like, that is Pietro, that is Quicksilver, that is Evan Peters, that's the X-Men. So, and literally, I remember the internet blew up, lost its mind, and it ended up becoming the biggest troll that MCU have ever done.
Yeah.
Which angers me a little bit, but also well played. Well done, K-Dog.
I think episode... That's why I think it's good to finish on episode 5 in this podcast, because it ends with massive little what?
Yeah.
What is this?
Absolutely. And we can talk about this more next week as well, in terms of our thoughts about Evan Peters being put into it, the controversy that happened online as well around his arrival, and why is he there? Is he that character? Is he says who he is? Oh, he isn't. Oh, okay, but then why were we sold this? Let's talk about that next week, because I've got some thoughts.
And also, who we haven't mentioned at all, who will be a big element of next week, is Catherine Hahn, who plays Agnes.
Yeah.
So we haven't talked about her at all so far.
That's really good. Let's
brilliant.
talk about her next, because her
brilliant.
character and her identity is revealed in these next episodes.
Exactly. Is she Agnes? Who knows?
I mean, it's quite obvious, isn't it, who she is, but,
Yeah. Well, you've already said the name a few times.
Agatha, Agnes, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so I can't wait, mate. Yeah, I'm very excited to what I think, to summarise, having gone back and watched episode 1 to 5, it just as good, if not better, than I remember it. I thought it's an incredible start to Marvel's dip into TV series. I think, and we'll, later on this will change, but episode lengths for this have been great. Content is great. And the story is really intricate, interesting, and plays a monumental part in the wider MCU into other films.
100%. I can't wait. I'm genuinely loving this TV show, and watching it again has been an absolute delight. Like, I did this early in the week. Like, usually I kind of like, okay, we'll record this on a Sunday, so I'll probably watch the thing on the Saturday. But no, I was straight in early in the week, because I remembered how fun it is to watch. It's so compelling. There's so many details. So yeah, bring it on. Bring on next week.
And the final words for this podcast, Matt. In the words of the end of each WandaVision episode.
one division, one division, one division, one division. Go on, you say it.
Please stand by.